Greetings, fellow humans, and welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we are here with actually a couple of weeks of comics for you. Due to Christmas, we're going to go ahead and do a double review for the books that came out on the 18th, and technically would have been the 25th, but they're not open on the 25th. So anyway, there is a drop report. First of all, we are not going to be continuing with the He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse series.
Right.
And additionally, it looks like we're not going to be continuing with Rye either. You know,
that's fair.
It was fine, but
I'd much rather read Bloodshot than Rye.
Exactly. So we're going to start, though, with a couple of books that only I read. The usual two that only I am reading, and this is the last one for each of these series. First of all, we've got East of West 45 by Jonathan Hickman, Nick Dragotta.
Cool.
And it's the end. All of the plot lines are resolved, and the way forward is shown, and Death fights with the other three horsemen for revenge and to save the life of his son Babylon.
Nice.
And it's good. It's real good. It's a 9.
All right.
East of West. Go get
cool.
it. It's going to be fully collected now. It was a great series from start to finish. I loved it.
Cool.
The other thing that only I read was the 12th and final issue of Doomsday Clock by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. And so Superman versus Dr. Manhattan. It's in this issue, although they don't actually fight. It's just they talk for a minute, and then Superman fights with a bunch of other superpowered villains that are there to get revenge on him for a military action that went wrong in Kahndaq. It's a very complex plot. The point is that all of this is so that Dr. Manhattan can be inspired by Superman and find hope again.
Good for him.
And he puts the universe back the way it was before he started messing with things. We are back to post-crisis, like 1980s through 2011 DC Comics before the New 52 started.
Okay.
All this to get back to that.
Well, are the Watchmen still in that part of the universe?
No, all of the Watchmen characters were returned to the Watchmen universe. A comedian who has been appearing in this book was reinserted at the moment of his falling through the skylight to his death, as that's where he was taken from. Marionette and Mime, the new characters, are left behind in the DC universe.
Interesting.
But all of the Watchmen characters return to fix that world. So this book was a long way to go for Jeff Johns to just undo the New 52 that he came up with back in 2011. Art's good. Art's very good. It's fine.
Cool.
It's a 6.
All right. It's a 6.
All right.
Now we're going to be talking about Klaus that came out by Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. And this is an interesting one. There's no dialogue.
This is Klaus, The Life and Times of Joe Christmas.
Yes, The Life and Time of Joe Christmas, who I take it is this kid, this orphan boy.
Well, open her up to the first page there of our Advent calendar.
Right.
The question I have for you is this is not actually Santa Claus, right? We're not seeing the creation of a person who's going to be like the American version of Santa Claus. We're just seeing somebody. Okay, right? Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Klaus gives him the Santa costume.
Right, and there's a lot of different Santas. We see the whole bunch of them earlier, like the various forms of Santa Claus throughout the very history. Those are all Santas, so there's different ones. And
right.
So yeah, I do think it's questionable whether quote unquote Joe Christmas is supposed to be like the American Santa.
Yeah. I think that's plausible.
Yeah.
He gets a good life, helped by Santa and helping Santa. I mean, Klaus. Helping Klaus as a kind of a sidekick and then adventure team buddy.
Right, and we're going backwards through time each page. Some of the pages are references to things, like this is an old X-Men cover, and we have this seems like a Back to the Future reference, 1981 with the DeLorean.
Oh, yeah.
And later on we see one that's set the year that the first issue of Superman came out, and the image is a broken toy car on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally happens.
Eye Patch Warrior Cat, the Beatles show up.
Yes, they do. And that's pretty funny.
And since it's wordless, Dan Mora is doing all the heavy lifting here, and his art is really good.
It's really good. And I feel like this could be read backwards or forwards. It's going backwards in time, but also since it's turned, you can turn it and then quickly flip each page downwards.
Yep, backwards or forwards, it works either way. Any questions you might have, like why'd that cat lose its eye, are answered when they had the fight against the Toymen.
Yep.
And and then finally you get back through all of this and you discover that Klaus himself is the one who dropped this boy off at the orphanage where he was raised, all the way back at the beginning of his life.
All the way back at the beginning. And that's nice.
He's been in his life the whole time.
Oh. So I'd give it a 7.
I give it an 8. I like it a lot.
Cool.
Klaus is always good every year. All right. Another last issue of something we're going to be talking about is the 85th issue of Batman by Tom King and Mikkel Janin. The last Tom King issue of Batman.
Yep.
And you better believe that Catwoman's the one that beats Thomas Wayne.
Yeah.
You better believe it.
And also it's an extra big issue.
It's an extra big issue with all the Tom King conversations you might want. Gotham Girl's whole problem is easily solved with the craziest Deus Ex Machina I've ever heard of. We made platinum kryptonite.
Well, wasn't this kryptonite introduced somewhere else? Maybe it wasn't in King's Run, but Superman had it, and we thought Lois was going to get it because it gives you the powers of Superman.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think it was that. I think it was another color, and that this is one is specifically designed for her. But yes, they did earlier in the run set up that kryptonite can give you powers.
I figured it was the same one, that's what the platinum or white kryptonite did. But
I mean, if that's what it did, they could have given it to Gotham Girl a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thought. Batman and Catwoman, they're married in their hearts. So that's good for them.
A couple of pages of them in bed.
Thomas Wayne, I don't know if he's dead, but Bane fucked him up.
Yeah, Bane broke his back.
Alfred's definitely still dead.
Yeah, that sucks.
Oh yeah, Porky Pig, the bartender, showed up in this one. That's another Tom King, right? This year's Kite Man, Chuck Brown,
right?
Charlie Brown. That's why he says good grief, because his name's Charlie Brown.
Oh, of course. It wrapped itself up. I don't feel like it needed to be, an extra-sized epic.
Imagine if he had the 20 more issues that he wanted. Like, what could the story have been? Oof, it's over. I'm giving it a 3 because of the sense of relief.
I give it a 4. All right, next up we're going to be talking about issue 21 of Venom, titled Venom Island. That's Donny Cates and Mark Bagley.
Mark Bagley, baby!
Yeah, together on this. And it starts with Eddie Brock shaving off the old goatee beard.
Yep, Stegman look gone, we're going back to Bagley look.
Yeah, which... awesome.
I love it. That's the best look for Eddie. And it's great when he goes to see the Avengers and they're like, oh man, Venom's a handsome guy.
Yeah, and everybody's all chummy with him now. Pretty cool, but he got a problem, and that's that Carnage is in his head. And the symbiotes are dueling.
Gotta be honest, after how disappointing the end of Absolute Carnage was, I gotta say, this book stepped on the gas again in a way I really appreciated.
It's interesting, because it stepped on the gas and also feels like we've reset back to Eddie's going insane, and that's how this all started.
Right, when he goes to Avengers Mountain, that there's no way he's gonna actually be on the Avengers. It's Venom, He's got mental problems. Yeah.
Give it a few more years and we'll see.
So yeah, Carnage. He's in him now.
He's in him now, and that's scary.
That's the very scary thing to do with Carnage.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And Eddie's worried about being near his family, and he knows Noel is coming, and he's having bad dreams about Noel killing his son. And he knows the end is near.
So what did he do to himself here? Did he cut whole chunks out of his back? And he's covered in blood? For God is kind. I couldn't figure out exactly what had happened.
Well, Carnage definitely
just
yeah. I feel like it probably just scraped into him.
Oof.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, this book straight up turned into the horror book that Mortal Hulk stopped being.
It's true.
And the very end reminded me a lot of that old mini, the Hunger. When he's separated from the symbiote, but then he's going to have to go after it, like, without it. And, yeah,
I love the Hunger.
I love that grin on his face as he's like, it's the full-on Rorschach, like, I'm not trapped here with you, you're trapped with me.
Yeah, that is exactly what happens. He takes the symbiote to this island, and, yeah, he's gonna hunt Carnage by himself, which, that's really something to look forward to.
That's dope, man. Venom Island, I'm here. I'm here for it.
I like this a lot. I give it an 8.
I also give it an 8. That's very good.
Nice.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the first issue of the new DC Black Label book, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. That's by Daniel Warren Johnson. You may recall us reviewing his Murder Falcon recently.
Yeah, and my God, does this look just like Murder Falcon.
Alright, so it looks just like Murder Falcon because that's Daniel Warren Johnson's art.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The main thing about this, to me, is how it's functionally the exact same plot as the Scott Snyder Batman Last Night on Earth book.
Yeah.
It's just instead of the Scott Snyder style, Earth chose doom and shit went bad, it's a more traditional, some sort of apocalypse happened, probably bomb-related. And now we have a Mad Max happening out in the world.
Yep, it's the nuclear fallout.
And Diana's depowered, which I thought was a good choice.
Yeah, that's cool. Still strong.
Still strong, just slightly weak compared to what she used to be. Cheetah is looking freaky as hell.
Yeah, mutated cheetah, oh my goodness.
She has a cheetah arm.
Yeah.
The head of a cheetah is her right arm. And yeah, there's some good monsters and some monster killing and some good barbarian-y violence, and it was a Dana Warren Johnson comic.
Yes, it was.
That's the same plot as Batman Last Night on Earth. So it's fine. I give it a 6.
I give it a 7.
Cool.
And now we're going to be talking about Batman Last Night on Earth, Book 3, by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Yep. And, so this is also a big one.
I was wrong that Omega didn't end up being Duke. Who did I think he was going to be? Oh, Duke Thomas. But I feel like Duke shows up in this book as, like, just a regular adult.
Yeah. Omega turns out to be Bruce Wayne himself.
The real Bruce.
Who got broken when the Joker played a practical joke on him, changing the evidence of things to make it so that... medical error, a drunk Thomas Wayne killed Joe Chill's son. I
didn't take that to be the break. That's interesting. I thought that was just him explaining that the mysterious case we were seeing Batman investigate in the beginning of all 3 issues was just a crazy Joker case and wasn't real.
I took it that
explanation of that case.
Right. I take it that it wasn't real.
But that's the one that may have finally broken him.
The Joker manipulated evidence and to make it look like this was a former crime that had been covered up by Thomas Wayne and his money. You
fully caught it, and that is you're right. That's why it matters. That's why they were showing us the opening flashbacks at the beginning of the issues. It wasn't any flashbacks having to do with this Batman. It was the flashbacks explaining what broke Omega.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay, good call. You caught that.
Yeah. So that it's pretty complex.
Yeah,
is the thing. This whole story is pretty complex, and the Batman that we've been following is a clone that Omega made.
Well, that we knew.
Yeah. In order to have this clone replace him as the new Omega.
But is it possible that Omega, in the back of his mind, knew that the only one who could stop him would be the original Batman, and so maybe he set this up so that he could be defeated?
That is also possible.
What do you think of Robin?
Robin.
Yes.
That's a good name for him,
You
yes.
know of whom I speak.
Yeah. The Joker's in a Joker's head in a bottle.
Right.
Yeah, Batman's been carrying around with him this whole time. Got himself a nice suit.
Because Tim had designed a Robin suit to wear because he had been crippled, and
They had this the one Robin that works off his brain.
Right, exactly. And so Batman, I don't know why he's so convinced that Joker's an ally now, because he even says that.
He's so like,
he's
no, Joker.
Yeah, this Batman loves the Joker. Something went wrong. The cloning machine fucked up a little bit, but Joker fully pays him back. And, is just 100% a good guy and doesn't betray him, even though he says he's going to betray him.
Yeah.
And
I even thought he was betraying him when he opens fire on everybody after coming in the Robin suit. But, nope, he was just shooting the baddies.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be the biggest twist of the book, is that Joker just straight up goes good and stays good as Joker.
Right.
Not even
as
becoming...
Joker's head in the jar, but yes, as Joker.
Yeah, no Jack happening. This is just Joker. It's like, no, it'd be funny to be a good guy now. Look how funny this is.
It's true. He needs to be a good guy in this dark world to make it funnier.
And man, Scott Snyder is obsessed with the whole John Jones is the mental link to everybody thing.
Yeah, that's true.
This book is is almost like a B-side to the Justice League run. Like everything that happened in the Justice League run happened here in miniature.
That's true. John Jones' involvement was a little bit annoying in my opinion. I don't feel like it was necessary.
He was literally just like a MacGuffin, a thing. Yeah, he wasn't in it.
But, you get some good action. There's,
art's good.
Yeah, the art's good. Omega Batman, he's got a good costume. And Bruce Wayne's scarred, ugly face while he tells his story about people massacring him and this little girl burning him was pretty good.
It's dark. This is practically a Tales from the Dark Multiverse, except for the super happy ending where for some reason Superman is coming back.
Yeah, little baby Superman crashes on the planet at this time for some reason. Yeah. Who knows? I don't get it.
But Joker moved his mask to the outside of the bowl, and that's what matters.
Yeah, so this was pretty good. It was a little long for my tastes, but still I give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7. I liked the series. Just think of it as a 9-issue series that we were reading very quickly.
Well, yeah. I still like it to have, chapters in that case.
All right, the next last thing we're reviewing is the 4th and final issue of King Thor by Jason Aaron, Esad Rybick, and a bunch of other artists. Because this is half the end of the whole Gore situation.
Yep.
And the big battle that happens, and Thor is very cool during the battle, and Loki pulls an all-star Superman and goes into the sun in order to keep it alive.
After becoming worthy to wield the hammer himself.
Worthy Loki. And then we get this crazy couple of pages of Jason Aaron's crazy sci-fi Thor the God Cop.
Yeah,
which
awesome.
Was pretty entertaining, I gotta say, for the little, even though it was a little bit weirdly funny for all the stuff that had been happening before.
It was, and it also reminded me of Grant Morrison.
Very much so. This just another evolution.
Yeah, and the going back and forth from the library that says everything of Thor, his future, his past, all his stories, as we're being introduced to these different timelines, is very cool.
Yeah, because
when he becomes the
Thunder Planet.
The Thunder Planet.
The Thunder World, and he's fighting the giant, thing that's possessed all the suns in the galaxy. And Damon Hellstrom is, the demon sorcerer, the satanic sorcerer supreme.
Yeah.
And Monkey Thor.
Yes, Monkey Thor.
In the far future.
Who makes babies with an ice giant.
And we touch in with Balder and Sif and Jane Foster the Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And all the artists who've been on the run get to come in and do a few pages. And we get the full page that shows the titles of all the different great Thor comics all over the years. And then
the reveal at the end of what we're getting next in Thor is also very cool.
I think that's not necessarily what's next. I think that was just Thor finishing it's the end of Thor at the end of the universe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because next Thor is Donny Cates' Thor, and that's completely disconnected, so. Yeah, like Thor God Cop, that's not actually happening.
Oh, right. No, I know that, but I thought at the end...
this bit.
Yes, next.
With his new rune-based costume.
Yes, Donny Cates.
Which we will probably be getting that.
Yeah.
So I give it a 7. It was pretty entertaining. I had a good time.
I'd also give it a 7. It was a little long.
A worthy send-off for a run that I read some of.
Yeah, that was good. Next, we're talking about Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, issue number 6 by Matt Fraction and Steve Leiber.
Halfway through this series.
Halfway through. This was a bit of a tying up loose ends issue as we get a little bit of Jimmy's time in prison. We find out that it's not Luthor who put the hit out on him, and Luthor actually got him thrown into holding for a night so that Luthor could deal with the many assassins
right.
that have been hired to take out Jimmy Olsen. We find out that Batman doesn't even know who hired all these assassins and wants him dead and can't help him, so Batman kicks him out of Gotham, which is very funny.
And won't help him.
And won't help him, right. Kicks him out.
He's like, this doesn't seem like something I care about.
Yeah, exactly. We find out about that alien woman that Jimmy married, that he didn't get their marriage annulled. He probably just forgot or was too busy. But now, because of that, she can't get married to this terrible conqueror who enslaved her world. And because of that, she had to escape from this planet, and she's going to come and kill Jimmy herself.
To annul the marriage.
To annul the marriage, right.
Right.
We get a little bit about the assassin that shoots the fake, the decoy, Jimmy Olsen, and what happened to him after, where he thought he was gonna, turn his life around now and go spend all retirement with his family or whatnot. But,
yeah, we learn all about like how he has kids and stuff. I mean,
right,
he's definitely he's a remorseless assassin, and so he got what's coming to him.
Oh yeah, but I mean, then he offs himself so that he doesn't have to tell Luthor who hired him.
Yeah, he's
that's the whole cyanide pill thing. He's definitely a piece of shit. But this bit here where he's just like looking off, staring off into the distance, like, ah, man, no, I'm dead. No, I'm dead.
Yeah. Good acting.
Yeah.
We get a bit with the detective who's not has Jim Corrigan, who's not the same Jim Corrigan who can turn into the Spectre. That was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
Superman is being wacky Silver Age Superman still.
Yes, he is, and that's entertaining no matter what you're up to. Yeah, and Jimmy's still masquerading around as Timmy. He's got that cat, which I love.
Yes, Vomit Cat. Red Lantern Cat. Why can't I remember the cat's name? Dexter. Dexter
is a very good kitty.
Yeah, I could use more Dexter in this book, honestly.
It's true, yeah. And like I said, Batman kicks Jimmy out of Gotham, so he's on the road again.
And what did Batman change Jimmy's name to?
Oh, he changed it to...
Not Jimothy.
Jim-phobe.
Jim-phobe?
Jim-phony.
Jimphony. Like symphony.
Right, like symphony.
Batman always wins Jimphony.
Yeah, so, still pretty funny. I like this run. I give it a 7.
I give it a 6. It was fine, but it's not as good as this run has been.
That's true.
We'll see. So next up, we've got issue 4 of New Mutants by Ed Brisson and drawn by Marco Faia. And this is more of the adventures of Boom Boom and Armor and Beak and the children. And they're against this militant South American or Central American group that wants to get a cure for disease. And this turns into a comic about Martin Shkreli for a few pages. Which, fine. Of all the targets to go after, like, that's pretty easy for people to understand. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Go for it. And then, like, the evil, like, mind control kids, like, make the guys kill themselves.
Yeah.
And it's all fine. Boom Boom shows up to save the day. She's drunk. She's real drunk throughout this issue.
Yes, but it's, good things to come with that, probably, because Boom Boom is more entertaining than any of the other ones around.
I agree.
Armor's pretty good. Like you said, the Adventures of Boom Boom in Armor is what's going on right here.
That's definitely the most interesting thing happening in New Mutants, especially compared to the other plot happening in this book currently.
Right.
But, man, I have this one. After these arcs, we'll see if we hang on to this book. I give this a 4.
I give it a 5. I thought it was okay. Yes. Next we're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 12. Donny Cates, Corey Smith on this one.
Another last issue.
Another last issue. And this is the end of the Faith people who are wanted to enslave everyone. Deal with them pretty handily in this. It's a lot of winning.
Yeah, we get Drax back, but it's like a new Drax personality with old Drax's body and visual look with like the crazy purple suit.
Yeah, which very cool.
I'm cool
they were able to show him all of what he was, and so he's good again. Yay! And Rocket, he's saved too. After it seemed like he wouldn't be, he just needed to update his bio-neural implants.
Yeah, like the solution for Rocket was a little bit. It was just like the Gotham Girl thing. It was like, actually, we can fix you.
Why didn't we do this sooner?
Yeah.
Why have you been alone on some planet, dying slowly?
Yeah, a little bit hand wavy. But we do get the extended team back. All the B-list Guardians who were teased in the first couple issues show up for the big final hoedown.
Yeah, they all come back in. Groot makes himself a big suit of armor for Rocket. Beta Ray Bill is there. He's always cool. He throws his hammer at somebody.
I believe that Beta Ray Bill is definitely going to be a part of the Thor Donny Cates run, because fucking Donny loves Beta Ray Bill.
Hell yeah. Lockjaw, he shows up. I totally forgot Lockjaw was part of this, but he comes in and teleports him out of there.
Lockjaw and Beta Ray Bill are like a duo in Donny Cates comics.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah, Death of the Inhumans started it, and they've kind of been companions since.
Yeah, and then we get just like 5 or 6 splash pages of everything that's happened in Guardians over the last run.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And just like Thor, it's like an art jam. It's all the people who worked on the various runs doing like a bit of their thing, because we got Trad Moore on our Silver Surfer Black thing.
Yeah, and that's a good page there.
I know, right? Can we squeeze
Galactus and Noel in faces in the background and everything?
They really needed to squeeze this spread into the collection of Silver Surfer Black.
Yeah, that's really good. And it's happy times now for everybody.
It's the movie team back together again.
Yeah, Rocket kicks everybody out, but then not you four.
Not the original Guardians from the Disney movie.
Exactly. So I'd say it ended pretty good. A little better than the previous issues of this arc were, and I give it a 7.
Yeah, I give it a 7 too. It was pretty good. Okay, moving on to issue 38 of Justice League. That is by Scott Snyder with Jorge Jimenez on art. And boy, is he on art. This is it's the fight. It's happening. The Flash looking awesome. Luthor fighting everybody off. Getting T-1000 at one point by Wonder Woman and putting himself back together. And
oh yeah.
And he even gets into it with Batman and Jarro. And Jarro takes what looks like an almost fatal wound.
Yeah, poor Jarro.
He's in bad shape. Superman and Lex are having a fight. Superman's powered up now by the good totality. His symbol's glowing.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of fighting.
They get a Trinity hit and on Lex with Batman and Superman. But Batman's barely contributing to this, let's be honest.
Luthor doesn't even feel them.
And but Perpetua shows up, so all seems lost until the little boy, what's his name?
Martian boy.
Martian boy. The little boy. He goes in, he merges with Lex, and I guess in order to get John out, he has to take his place. He has to switch out in Lex's Matrix.
Yeah.
Shane, that's his name.
Shane, yes.
And now John's back, and that means that the Justice League's mental link is going to be able to be put back in place, which is the most important thing, according to Scott Snyder. And John's looking pretty, he's looking like he got totality powered up, too.
Yeah, he
he's
does
got
look like that.
The glowing trim.
Yeah.
pretty entertaining, expertly drawn. I enjoyed it a lot. I give this an 8.
I give it 7.
Cool.
And we're going to finish up the night with issue 4 of X-Force by Benjamin Percy and Joshua Cassara. And this is, of course, the Wolverine Kid Omega Domino story.
I thought you were going to go all the names on the list in one breath.
No.
Wait, let me try.
There's a lot of others.
Wolverine, Kid Omega, Domino, Professor X, Marvel Girl, Beast, Sage, Black King, Storm, Apocalypse, Mr. Sinister, Mystique, Magneto, Exos, Nightcrawler, and Forge.
Oh, very good. Yeah, they're all a part of this.
They're all in it.
They're looking for the assassins. They think there's multiple teams.
There's multiple man appears in this issue.
Yes, multiple man does appear in this issue, and as does Beast and Rogue and Jubilee.
And a Marvel Girl.
Jubilee's going by a different name, though.
Oh, no, that's Sage. That's not Jubilee. Sage
Right.
just wears the same clothes as Jubilee. I don't know why.
That confuses me.
Yes.
I was like, this must be a different character.
No,
different name, but same clothes.
No,
but...
it's Sage. It's Sage.
Alright, Sage. Yes.
And they use Jean Grey to do the Psychics version of Batman's holodeck recreation of a crime.
Yeah, they do. And that's cool. That's fine.
We learn about all the shell companies that Charles Xavier owns to finance all this.
Apparently he's the richest man in the world. Good for him.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and Forge is cool.
Forge,
he makes them some crazy Krakoan technology weapons that can become blades or tentacle grabbers and or blasters.
Yeah, he gives Domino a video game weapon.
A video game weapon, right? And to recharge it, you just gotta put it in some water and soil at night.
Krakoan tech.
Forge.
What do you think Wolverine asked Forge for? A sword, right?
Oh, that would be great.
I'm pretty sure he had to have asked him for like a samurai sword because Wolverine's a samurai.
Right. I was thinking like, what could it be? He already has the claws, but yeah, he could totally ask for a samurai sword.
Hopefully they have enough adamantium because they're gonna have to redo Wolverine after this issue.
Yeah, he really gets exploded when him and Kid Omega go through a portal right ahead of Domino. I guess she was just lucky to be right behind him. Ha ha ha. And she comes through to find out that they just got exploded.
Yeah, so what she is seeing is Kid Omega's headless corpse and Wolverine's legs and ass.
Yeah.
I love that 4 issues of X-Force, and already Professor X, Wolverine, and Kid Omega have all died at least once. Domino's been fricasseed.
At least. Oh, man.
This is the book that's having fun with the new concepts from that Hickman introduced. All the other books are just like, oh, we're in a new place and doing Krakoa shit.
Right.
But this book is like, nobody can die. Let's have them do really dangerous shit and have it go wrong all the time. Because, like, why not play with the toy box?
It's heating up. Yeah, this was very good.
I like X-Force.
Yeah, I give it an 8.
I give it an 8 too.
Nice.
This is what you want.
Yeah.
As usual, X-Force delivers. All right, wow. We got through, I think that was like 13 books.
Nice.
Thanks a lot for listening, everybody. Sticking with us. Happy holidays to all of our listeners. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. Click the little bell if you want to be notified whenever we put out something new. And as always, we will be back in the near future with even more comic reviews.
See you next year.